Hi, I'm Natalie, and we are here with Northern Edge at the Outdoor Adventure Show, and just get out there and explore and be in the fresh air.
I think Ontario Parks is a great place for anybody who's looking for a career in the outdoors and in the customer service business, because that's really what we're doing. We're providing great opportunities for people that are camping. And so for students, there's all sorts of opportunities, everything from helping in a campground, doing enforcement, doing maintenance, being a canoe ranger, helping out doing portages and campsites in the backcountry, education programs, administrative staff. We have programs for all sorts of students.
What I do at Noels on a day-to-day basis as the director at Noels Yukon is I support getting our courses ready for the summer. We run courses June, July, and August in the Yukon. So if you want to work for Noels, there's kind of two ways to go about it. You can go and work in town and help us out in town supporting our courses in the field, or you can work toward becoming a Noels field instructor.
So Wilderness Medical Associates is a training, education, and research organization that works with both medical professionals and non-medical professionals to train people to work in remote areas, particularly low resource areas. That could be wilderness areas, could be disaster areas, but anywhere where essentially expected or sort of traditional medical care such as hospitals, EMS services, or things under the 911 umbrella wouldn't exist. So we work with folks like wilderness guides or park rangers, park wardens, help people and train people who really haven't had access to the medical service that might exist in a big city, and really help people learn how to apply medical skills to those environments and really make a difference.
The Ontario Ranger program, it used to be called the Junior Ranger program, still goes on in Ontario, and we have Ontario Ranger camps all over the province. It's specifically for 17-year-olds. You have to apply when you're 17, and on the website, so if you go to the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources website, you can find links for the Ontario Ranger program. Amazing opportunities. You could get stationed anywhere in the province, and so many people that have careers in either the Ministry of Natural Resources or in parks went through the Ontario Ranger or the Junior Ranger program. One of the things that we look for is, it's not only an education, but we're also looking for the kind of volunteer experience or any of the clubs or any of the activities that you do on the side. So for example, if you do canoe trips for fun, it's a great thing to put on and highlight on your resume, because those are the people that we're going to look for, especially for people that we're going to put into the backcountry. We want to make sure that they have canoe experience. So whatever your interests are, whatever your experience, make sure you put that and highlight that in a resume.
For working in the field as a Noels instructor, we look for folks that have extensive backcountry experience. You need to have multi-week expeditions in whatever skill it is you want to teach, whether that's backpacking or mountaineering or canoeing. So you got to go out there and have a bunch of experience doing that. We also look for folks that have educational experience. So they have to be, whether they're a school teacher or they're a coach or they've taught skiing for a number of years. Any of those educational skills are really important for us to be a field instructor.
I love doing canoe trips and sea kayak trips. I grew up doing canoe trips in Algonquin Park with my family, and then started learning more about sea kayaking from friends and family, and then sort of testing the waters out on Lake Superior, and really enjoyed it and thought, you know what, I'd love to do more of this. And so now, taking on sea kayaking and guiding sea kayaking on Georgian Bay is really fulfilling. It's really awesome. When you first meet them and having some of them, not want to be there because they didn't want to leave home, and then going through, the development where they start to gain leadership skills and they start to become more comfortable in the outdoors, and then having them come back from canoeing or camping and just realizing that they've gained so much from it, and then having them not want to go home. I think that's just amazing, and I think, the more that we can do that and inspire other people, the better.
A great story from a field course I worked years ago. We went out on a river called the Heart River, and it was the first time Noels has ever gone out. Really far in the Yukon wilderness. We had to fly the whole course in on these planes called single otters. So we flew the course into this really remote lake, the headwaters of the river called the Heart River, that's paddled very rarely. We paddled down, gorgeous place, and totally wild. Didn't see anybody for 42 days. Halfway through the trip, we were paddling through this canyon, and we came around the bend, and there was a wild wolf, an Arctic wolf. It was sort of off-white, white, grayish, And it was in this canyon, so it couldn't really take off. It couldn't go anywhere. And all it could do was sort of run downstream. And we had the wonderful experience of paddling. We gave it some distance, so we didn't scare it too much, but we paddled down the river next to it for about half an hour for about 3 or 4 kilometers. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
You know, jump in with 2 feet, and certainly the more opportunities that present themselves, take them. If you're looking at sort of combining a medical and wilderness or remote experiences, I would say, you know, look for opportunities, you know, across Canada as well as across the world.